Brothers and sisters, you are rejoiced in the Dhamma. Good morning, everybody. Homage to the Buddha. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to the channels of Buddha Dhamma Indonesia. And today I would like to share the points of Dhamma, the points of the teachings of the Buddha in English. Because sometimes ago I was asked by a certain Upasika from USA, from America, saying that in Westerns there is a common view that Buddhism is considered to be a kind of pessimistic teaching, pessimistic religion. The reason for that is because when they learn Buddhism, they find that the Buddha teaches about suffering. And without going further to find out what Buddhism is, what suffering is, and going furthermore to find out totally fully the teachings of the Buddha, they stop right there. And because of that, they come to conclusion that Buddhism is a kind of pessimistic religion because teachings about suffering. So here I would like to give an analogy to make clear about this problem. Because if it is not being corrected, and then it can be misleading for the people to understand what Buddhism is. And I think this kinds of view has been a common view among the people who just learn the teachings of the Buddha. While finding out about this teaching, these kinds of understandings about suffering, and then they come to conclusion that Buddhism is kinds of pessimistic teaching. So, what is the analogy here? So, suppose there is a doctor and a patient. If the doctor shows to the patient only about the illness, without giving an information about the cause, why that illness arises, and also without giving information about the possibility in order to get cured from that illness, and also not showing the way, the path that leads for the curing of that illness, then it can be said that the doctor has given a pessimistic feeling, pessimistic hope to that patient. But if the doctor not only shows about the illness, but also showing about the cause why that illness arises, and also giving the possibility that illness can be cured, and giving the way by means of a kind of certain medicine to cure that illness, how can be possible to say that this doctor has given a pessimistic hope? Even that doctor has given a very optimistic hope to that patient to get cured from that illness. So, in this case, in the same way with regard to the Buddha, with regard to the Lord Buddha, if the Buddha is the founder of Buddhism, only shows about suffering, here I would like to use the term shows, not the teachers, because the Buddha doesn't teach the people to get suffered. But the Buddha shows about the reality of suffering, the existence of suffering in the world. And if the Buddha shows only about suffering, the existence of suffering, without showing the cause why people, why creature get suffered, and also not showing the possibility of getting freed, getting liberated from that suffering, and also not showing the way leading to the cessation of suffering, then it can be stated that the Buddha is a kind of teaching, a pessimistic teaching. But in this case, just like the second doctor, who shows not only about the illness, but also the cause, the possibility of getting cured from that illness, and the way how to get cured from that illness. So in the same way, the Lord Buddha is also not only shows us about the existence of suffering, the existence of this dukkha, but also showing us about the cause that suffering has to cause. And because of this negative thoughts, defilements of mind, the taints of minds, because of the craving, because of the attachment, because of the clinging, because of various kinds of negative thoughts, all these things are the cause why people, why beings get suffered. And then not only that, Lord Buddha also showing us the possibility of getting freed, getting liberated from this very suffering by eliminating the cause of suffering, by eliminating these mental taints, the defilements of mind, the unwholesome states of mind. And Lord Buddha also shows us the way, the path leading to the cessation of suffering. And that way is none other than the Noble Eightfold Path, consisting of 8 factors: the right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And by developing, by cultivating this way, this path, consisting of these 8 factors, this Noble Eightfold Path, it is possible for the people, for the beings, to get rid of this suffering. And if the Buddha shows all these things, not only showing about the existence of suffering, but also showing about the cause, the possibility of getting rid of this suffering, and the way how to get rid of this suffering, how is it possible to say that the Buddha teaches about pessimistic teaching? So it is not right. So it is misleading. In fact, Lord Buddha teaches us how to get happiness, teaches us how to get freed from this suffering. And by freeing, by releasing us from this suffering, and then we can reach, we can attain, we can realize the ultimate happiness. And even the teachings of the Buddha is not just to get this common happiness, the sensual pleasures, but even teaching us how to get the ultimate happiness, the ultimate freedom, ultimate liberation, the ultimate liberation from all sufferings. And that is Nibbana, the cessation. And this is the ultimate happiness, the paramang sukang, the highest happiness. And we can say that Lord Buddha teaches us not to get suffered, but even teaching us how to get the ultimate happiness. And this happiness, this paramang sukang, this highest happiness, is not only being realized after death, but even Lord Buddha assured us, if we practice intensively, hardly, cultivate this Noble Eightfold Path, even in this very life, before we are coming to the death, we can attain, we can realize this ultimate happiness. So, brothers and sisters, who rejoice in the Dhamma, ladies and gentlemen, that we can say that Buddhism teaching us not to get suffered, but even Buddhism teaching us how to get rid of suffering by practicing the Noble Eightfold Path, by releasing us, by liberating us from all kinds of suffering and due to these defilements of mind. So therefore, to say that Buddhism is a kind of pessimistic religion, it is misleading, it is not correct, and we have to correct, we have to give a good understanding to people, and saying that Buddhism even teaching us how to get rid of suffering, how to attain the ultimate happiness by getting rid of all kinds of suffering in this world by practicing the Noble Eightfold Path. Thank you very much. Sabbe sata bhavantu sukhitata. May all beings be happy.